This is problem number 15 of the 2012 AP Calculus exam. The graph of a differentiable function f is shown above. If h of x is equal to the integral from 0 to x of f of t dt, which of the following is true? Let's look at what is given in the answer choices. And we notice that we see an h of 6, we see an h prime, or the first derivative of h at 6. We see f double prime, or the second derivative of h at 6. And what we're noticing is we have to look at the statements and determine which one is true. And so let's begin. Let's look for h of 6. Well, that will equal, if we use the information given, the integral from 0 to 6 of f of t dt. And that's nothing more than the area from 0 to 6. And what I notice is that area is below the axis and therefore negative. And so this is less than 0. So now let's look at h prime of 6. We'll begin by looking at h prime of x. And so if we take the derivative of each side, we take the derivative of h of x, we get h prime of x. If we take the derivative of the integral with respect to x, the derivative of the integral gives us the function at x. So f of x. So now, if that's the first derivative of h prime of x, or the first derivative of h of x, then h prime of 6 would be equal to f of 6. And that's just the value of the function when x is 6. We notice it's 0. When x is 6, h prime of 6 is 0, equal to 0. Next, if we take the derivative, second derivative, we'll get h double prime of 6 would be equal to the first derivative of f at 6. And since our function is given in the graph, this is the graph of f, the first derivative we recognize, again this is the first derivative of f, represents the slope of the tangent line. So let's look at the value of 6. What would the slope of the tangent line be? Well, the one thing I know is it's positive. It's greater than 0. So if I were to put these in a specific order that was true, I would know this first one, since it's less than 0, is negative. So h of 6 is the negative value. The second one, h prime of 6, is 0. And h double prime, second derivative at 6, we said was greater than 0 or positive. And so we know 0 is greater than any negative number and less than any positive number. So this is our answer. H of 6 is less than h prime of 6 is less than h double prime of 6. And we're done. Letter A.